Welcome back. Today we're bringing you along for a full walkthrough of the Florida State Fair in Tampa. This fair has been a Florida tradition since 1904, and it's not just big, it's huge. 330 acres of rides, shows, animals, food, history, and more fried things than you ever thought possible. It's the first state fair of the year in the United States, and it's the kind of place where you can watch racing pegs, dance at a silent disco, pet a goat, tour an old pioneer town, and still have time for a water spectacular. If you like travel videos with a mix of animals, history, theme parks, and just plain fun, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment. Our day started with the one and only Circus Hollywood. No recording allowed, so think aerialists, juggling acts, and just the right amount of clown chaos. Then we headed over to Motordome, where brave stunt racers raced vertically inside a wooden cylinder. Yes, you read that right. Straight up and sideways. From horsepower to actual horses, the draft horse pull. These massive animals showed off their strength in a friendly competition. The foam zone was a must for our family. We went to the last foam party of the night, a foamy wonderland with kids and adults running through giant bubbles while dancing to the music. It was fun, hilarious, and one of our kids' favorite stops of the day. Of course, we couldn't resist the petting zoo: goats, sheep, rabbit, and even a zebra. As animal lovers, we prefer the hands-on petting zoo you'll see later in the video, but they had a good variety of animals and they were fun to see. Next up, a surprise hit: Jurassic Kingdom. Giant dinosaurs, life-size scenes, and just the right amount of silliness. If you've got a dino lover in your family, don't miss it. We watched the Water Spectacular show. It features jet skiers and performers using those water-powered jetpacks, the kind that launch you straight into the air before you dive back down with a splash. It's high energy, but relaxing at the same time. The tricks are impressive, and it's one of those shows that's just easy to stop and watch for a while. At night, the fair transforms into sunny nights. It lights up the ground with glowing art, colorful arches, and dreamy music. It's the perfect place to wander once the sun goes down. And there's the Demo Derby and the Royal Spectacular, shows packed with stunts and surprises. The Cycle Circus live show blends daredevil biking with lights, music, and high-flying tricks. We caught the rehearsal. We checked out the Hollywood racing pigs, but no recording allowed means you'll have to take my word for the cuteness of the pigs. We didn't go, but the silent disco where everyone dances to the music with wireless headphones sounds like fun. The Disconnected Canines was one of our favorites, a high-energy dog show that had the whole crowd smiling. These rescue dogs perform all kinds of tricks: jumping, flipping, catching frisbees mid-air, and running obstacle courses like it's nothing. What makes it even better is the bond you can see between the dogs and their handlers. It's all built on fun and positive reinforcement. The show moves quickly, so there's always something to watch, and it's one of those performances that's just as entertaining for adults as it is for kids. Plus, knowing that these are all adopted dogs makes it even more heartwarming. If you are an animal lover or just appreciate a well-timed flying leap, this one is a must-see. And then there's the amazing Aaron Rat's Magic Show. We just missed it, but we heard it was great. One of the best things at the Florida State Fair: the food. Between the 7 of us, we saw a wide variety of treats that guarantee they have something for everyone. A classic sausage dog, steak and mushrooms hot off the grill, and my favorite, crispy fried pickles. There was also a pizza dog, chicken on a stick, steak on a stick, and some amazing pork tacos. And of course, dessert. We tried 3 types of frozen bananas on a stick, 2 types of frozen cheesecake on a stick, and even a banana split. After daydreaming about fair food, we take a step back in time, literally. Just around the corner from all the action, Cracker Country is like a hidden pocket of history inside the Florida State Fair. A living history museum that recreates rural life in Florida around the late 1800s. It's quiet, shady, and full of little discoveries if you take the time to wander through. We strolled past original wooden buildings like an old schoolhouse, general store, and homesteads, each one with costumed interpreters who bring the era to life. You're not just looking at history, you're stepping into it. We got to see a traditional workhorse in harness and a few other horses as well, all part of the work farm atmosphere. The sights, sounds, and even the slower pace felt like a whole different world compared to the bright lights and rides just outside. There were also hands on demonstrations where we could watch blacksmithing, spinning, and other pioneer era skills in action. There's also some fun products which are straight out of history. Kettle corn, lemonade, honey, and agave are just a few. It's one of those places where you can learn without feeling like you're at school. Whether you're into history, crafts, or just looking for a quieter moment in your day, Cracker Country is worth the walkover. One of the most interactive areas at the fair was Ag Venture, a hands on space where you can learn where food comes from and how it makes it to your table. Right at the entrance, you get to squeeze your own orange juice. It's quick, it's easy, it's a great way to start the experience. Inside the building, Ag Venture had plenty of interactive exhibits. We made our own butter, learned how different crops grow, and explored all kinds of Florida agriculture, from beekeeping to water conservation and more. One small station samples of freshly cooked FFA pork, with a helpful tip that a full size version could be found just outside at a nearby food truck. We also got to taste a new kind of milk, locally produced and ice cold, another nice surprise in a space that blends farming facts with flavors. And before we left, we saw that you could pick up some fresh Florida strawberries and a few other products from locally grown sources like lotions and bath products. A sweet and simple take home treat from an area that's all about celebrating where our food comes from. There's a hologram theater where tech meets storytelling in a fun, futuristic way. In one corner of the fair is the Creative Living competition. This exhibit hall is filled with entries from people all over Florida, showcasing skills like needle felting, sewing, and woodworking. There's even a whole section dedicated to recycled art and creative repurposing. What made it extra fun was that our family had a few entries this year, both kids and adults, so one of our first stops was checking to see if any ribbons were waiting for us. We also took time to wander through the rest of the displays, admiring just how much talent and creativity goes into each piece. There's a cattle ranching and forestry area to see how Florida's natural resources are managed. The fair also has plenty of shopping. First up, the Artisan Marketplace, where you'll find handmade goods from local artists and craftspeople. This is the spot for one of a kind finds, things like hand carved wood items, jewelry, candles, pottery, and other gifts that feel personal and unique. Then there's the expo hall, which is totally different vibe. It's more of a traditional expo setup with vendors selling everything from cookware to backyard gadgets. The Florida Fish and Wildlife exhibit is all about conservation, education, and how we can safely share the state with its wild residents. There's a learning garden where local gardeners share how to grow Florida friendly plants. We also explored the insect encounter, surprisingly fun and not as creepy as you'd think, learning about bees and butterflies. Of course, no fair is complete without a walk through the livestock barns. There's a little bit of everything here: cows, pigs, goats, poultry, but we spent most of our time in the small animal section. You're surrounded by animals being cared for by young 4-Hers who clearly put a lot of effort into preparing for the fair. My daughter's favorite area is the rabbit area, where instead of just peeking into hutches, the 4-H kids brought some of the bunnies so we could gently pet them. They were happy to answer questions too, which added a personal, hands on touch you don't always find. Just a few steps away were baby chicks and ducklings, always a favorite. Watching them scurry around under the heat lamps was fun, and while you can't pick them up, it's still a sweet moment. We made our way over to the llama show, where kids partner with llamas and lead them through fun obstacle courses. This isn't an activity you can just jump into on the spot, but because we've had llamas of our own, our daughter was invited to take part in the show. It was a great experience. The 3D chalk art was amazing, illusions right on the pavement. Colorful, hand drawn pieces lined the pavement, turning the sidewalk into a gallery under our feet. Impressive and full of shading, perspective, and personality. You could tell that a lot of thought went into these, even though chalk isn't exactly the easiest medium to work with on a sidewalk. It's a great reminder that art doesn't have to be framed or hung on a wall. The Power of Steam exhibit shows off with huge gears, antique engines, and volunteers explaining how it all works. Warning, it's a bit loud. Our family's favorite exhibit is the hands-on petting zoo. It's set up as a walk-through area where you can feed and interact with a mix of friendly animals: goats, sheep, miniature donkeys, and even a wallaby. That's right, a wallaby. It was curled up in the corner when we first walked in, and yes, we all stopped to admire it. The space is open and easy to explore, and the animals are used to visitors, so they were calm and curious. Buckets of feed are available if you want to offer a snack, and there are staff members around to keep things clean and make sure the animals are comfortable. The Little Farm Hands area is a hands on agricultural themed activity zone designed especially for younger kids. Instead of just looking at displays, kids get to jump into the action at a series of interactive stations, each one themed around a different part of farm life or rural living. There's a fishing station where they can catch magnetic fish, a scarecrow building station with straw and clothes to piece together their own farmyard guardian, and even an agricultural music zone where they can get a taste of country rhythm. Each activity is hands on, with volunteers helping guide the fun while sharing a little knowledge, leaving kids with a better appreciation for the farming lifestyle and without ever stepping onto a real field. And that's the end of our whirlwind tour of the Florida State Fair. From foam parties to pig races, dinosaur encounters to historic schoolhouses, this fair has it all. Thanks so much for coming along with us. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to join us on more fun adventures, and drop a comment below. Let us know, what would you do first at the Florida State Fair? We'll see you next trip.